I'm Darius Paymai. I'm an Iranian-American composer living and working in London, and I just won the Opus 1 scheme.
I'm Hugo Bell. I'm a composer from South London, currently taking part in the Opus 1 scheme.
Okay, where should we start?
Where should we start?
These are mine.
Okay, I've got application process. That's a nice one to start with.
Okay.
Because that's the very start of it. So,
Yeah.
How did you find applying to this? Because I first, obviously this is the first year that this Opus 1's been going. Wasn't sure whether I should apply for that or the Magnum Opus.
Yeah, I think
How did you feel?
a lot of people that I knew who were applying to it weren't sure which one to go for. But I think it was quite clear about the funneling of different people into the different groups. I felt that the Opus 1 was probably best for me because I hadn't been on one of these sort of traditional composition schemes before. And I found the application process to be, the first of many that I've been doing, and quite interesting to think about what I'm doing and why I feel like I would fit into something like this, what I would gain from it, perhaps.
Yeah, definitely. Same. I mean, I've never really had any luck with applying to other composition stuff. Started composition quite late on, so it was nice to see that there's a scheme that was quite open about things like the schedule in particular. That was really good for me because a lot of people are working full time, particularly if you've just finished studying composition. It can be a bit of a nightmare finding time to take part in stuff. So that was really good. Get to meet everyone as well. That was really nice. Meeting some new faces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people who I knew knew about this scheme, and it seemed like everyone I knew was applying for it all at once, and it was interesting to see who sort of fit in with the way the scheme was going to work.
Yeah, actually, one thing that did surprise me a bit was the standard. I don't mean that in a good way, not in a bad way. Because at first I wasn't sure, because obviously I kind of knew about the main one and knew what kind of standard of composer tended to get that, where they're at with their career. So I wasn't sure whether this would be sort of complete, kind of having never really written a note before. But yeah, it seemed like everyone was kind of at the same standard. It was nice to have a wide mix of ages as well.
I think having a scheme like this, I think Dobrinka said on our first workshop that she was very much, she was very interested by the fact that there were 8 different composers with very different styles. I think that was quite a good thing, and I think each of us sort of found a way to get our own work to fit in with this process and to gain something from the way the Opus 1 scheme works.
Yeah, nice. Okay, I've got my next one. This is a good one. What's been your favourite moment of the course so far?
I think my favourite moment was probably during the last workshop, during the second workshop. It had been a really long day, and we had gone first, actually. You were first and I was second.
Yeah.
So we were a bit relaxed, I think, after that. But then Pia's piece was at the very end. It's a very beautiful piece, and it just started raining, just torrential rain over the music therapy room that we were in. I thought it was just a beautiful sound, beautiful moment.
That's nice. That's very wholesome. It's a very wholesome memory. What was my favourite moment? Ooh. I think my favourite moment was probably the first session, actually. Because what I loved was being able to bring loads of ideas with no kind of commitment, no need to have to commit to any of the ideas that you bring along. That was really liberating. So I didn't feel any kind of pressure of, we've only got one rehearsal before the concert or the recording session, so I've got to make sure that, this is the one. I think that actually really helped writing the piece as well, not having that pressure of having to come up with something that's near a finished product too early on. I just turned up with a big list of techniques and noises, and we just went through them. Being able to hear them in the space as well with the players, made it a lot easier for me.
Well, that's always a great thing, is because in a lot of times as composers we only have the chance to work with the players for a short amount of time before the performance or what have you. But being able to hear some material months before today was a pretty marvelous thing. I think it was also great to see that everyone came at sort of different stages in the piece as well, because John, for example, his piece hasn't changed. It was fully formed, and Peter's as well. But you and I both came with some pretty sketchy things. Not sketchy, but
music.
Some ideas, and people sort of, it ran the gamut. So I mean, and now to see how everyone's pieces have grown since then, or refined since then, is interesting. That was an important moment at that first workshop.
Yeah, and getting some nicking sounds from each other as well. You know, whether it's sticking things up the end of the oboe, or sticking things down the end of the bassoon.
Yeah.
Or
a lot of shared ideas.
Yeah, shared ideas. Sticking things up the end of the clarinet.
Yeah.
I don't think we stuck anything anywhere else.
Not up the strings.
No, there's nothing in the strings or the flute. But then it's also nice that everyone's not then making the same mistakes as well. It's it's good to be able to kind of come from the same pool of sounds and see what everyone else can do with them. Because I remember you were saying you weren't particularly fond of the oboe when you started. That was the kind of the problem instrument in the quartet.
Sure, yeah.
Throw you under the bus there.
It's always been a tough one to write for. I found with sort of my aesthetic, I found it quite difficult to have an oboe in such a small ensemble. But then working with Peter has been so good, because he's open to anything, and really helped me sort of develop my ideas and make them oboistic. Yeah.
And I mean, actually, it was really nice as well working with players who were down with contemporary music as well. I mean, Marcus has been fantastic. He's just kind of got it straight away what you're after as a composer, and when you've got players like that on board from an early stage, it makes life a lot easier.
So much easier.
Have you got any exciting questions?
Advice for future applicants. Did we kind of touch on that?
Kind of. We can do it properly now.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for future applicants?
Yeah. I mean, advice. It's the same for anything really with composition. You just got to have a thick skin and just keep sticking on with applications, because it's a slog. But it's great that this scheme's open to so many composers as well. You know, it's 8 spots rather than just one. It's working over an extended period of time, so it's definitely worth applying for if you maybe don't get it the first time. You know, keep at it. Don't get too disheartened. And probably the best advice I could give is to maybe submit pieces that give a good account of yourself. Don't worry too much about having to submit pieces which maybe conform to a certain style or a certain aesthetic, because like you said, we've had a really wide range of styles on the scheme. So if you think your music's a little bit too out there, don't worry, just go for it.
I think I was thinking, because Rachel sent these questions, some of them in the email before, I was thinking about this question in particular, and I think for anything, and for this I found it to be especially true, it's very important to think about why any opportunity is the right one. You know, a lot of people, I think, are just, you know, looking for a performance or looking for a recording, and that's something, but a situation like this in which there's room for experimentation and growth and working with the same group of people over time, it's a very specific kind of collaboration with the performers and with the other composers, and if you're up for that, then this is probably the right thing for you.
Yeah, nice, solid advice. You got another exciting question?
Working with Britten Sinfonia?
We've kind of done that already.
Yeah.
We could do that again? Oh, what about this? I like this one.
The most challenging thing?
Yeah, what's been the most challenging thing in the whole process?
I'll have to think about that for a second.
I'll think about it as well.
We did sort of just jump in straight away, The first workshop was not very long after we knew that we were going to be on the scheme.
Yeah, actually, I found that quite a challenge as well when there was quite a quick turnaround. It did kind of force you to buck up your ideas, really. You just knew that you had to get something out quickly.
I find it difficult to get started when I don't know who I'm writing for.
Yeah, that as well.
But after the first workshop, it became a lot easier because I had a lot of different things, lots of different ideas that I wasn't 100% sure about. And then once I got to know some of the players, it made it a lot easier to commit for me.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't actually say, compared to maybe other things I've done in the past, I wouldn't say I've actually felt many major challenges with this project. It's not to say that I haven't sort of pushed myself or like I've been trying new things which I hadn't tried before, but it's been a very empathetic environment. There's not been any conflict or drama or anything like that. Coffee could have been better in the breaks. Could have had some better coffee, maybe an espresso machine for next time. That's my only criticism. Sorry, Britten Sinfonia.
It's going to be a big dent in your bursary then.
Yeah, exactly. So, and we can always just go out for coffee.
Anything else you want to talk about, Hugo?
It's been really nice coming to Cambridge actually. All I really know about Cambridge is canals and students, so it's been nice coming down here, seeing the city. Lovely concert hall. Really impressed with the acoustics. I'm looking forward to hearing my piece in there later. And yours as well. Yours is going to be really nice in there.
Hope so.
Yeah. I think it's got a really nice acoustic profile.